My people, you're in a grocery store with your partner. You find yourself in the supplement aisle. There you are. Hundreds of choices, right? However, you get to choose 3. Which ones are they? You get to choose 3 for your partner as well. Which 3 for them? Let's open that up, you guys. My name is James, founder of Sacred Earth Health Food Store, supplement consultant. I'm here with my good friend Jody Licatino, founder of Thumos USA, optimizing men. Okay? We're going to open all this up for you guys. Jody, you ready?
I am absolutely ready, and I'm glad to be here, James.
I'm glad you're here, bro. Happy to have my good friends in this space and digging into some topics that we thoroughly enjoy. This is our lifestyle. We invite you to come join us, and here we go. Back to the basics, okay, guys? This is going to be a 101. This is part of a 3-part series. 202 and 303 are going to be very interesting as well. But for this one, simple, basic. That's how we're going to do, you guys. Hopefully you enjoy it. I think you will. We must start with this question. With all that said, why supplement? Why supplementation? Jody.
Before I answer that, is 101 tough for you?
101 is tough for me, guys. It's going to be tough for Jody. It's going to be tough for both of us. We're passionate about these things. We have a lot to share. We love discussing them. So yes, it's going to be tough. We're going to do our best, and we're going to keep it basic, and we're going to see how it goes. Okay, supplementation.
Why supplement? I happen to believe, and science happens to back this, our soils are not what they used to be. They don't have the nutrients and the density of the good stuff that they used to. And that started declining, what, James, in the 1930s?
1930s.
So our soils aren't where they need to be. I know I'm not eating the whole chicken or whole foods or a whole cow. I'm eating chicken breast, used to egg whites. Now I throw the yolk in. And so we're not eating whole and complete foods. And then, of course, there's the whole seasonal eating, right? So like, well, myself and probably like many people, we get into eating, you know, a certain number of foods. Maybe it's 20 or 30, if that. And we're not rotating with the seasons and getting that variety. Does that make sense?
It makes sense. And it's tough, guys, because looking at it from that perspective, especially regarding chicken, we're only, generally will only eat a few different parts or organs of the chicken. Why? That's not a holistic approach. Our ancestors didn't do it that way. They ate most of the chicken. So when we talk about chicken noodle soup, guess what? Traditionally, there were bones. It was the whole chicken, where all the nutrients and minerals are, specifically in the bones, right? So that's something that we're no longer doing, and perhaps we should be, okay? As far as eating seasonally, I absolutely agree. It's another thing our ancestors did. It was natural. They didn't have to think about that. It's what they did. They knew it. That was best for them.
So maybe the big question, James, this is the 101 series, is where in the world does someone start? By the way, in the intro, you had the couple walk into a grocery store to buy their supplements. Why would they not walk into a Sacred Earth? Because I'm not convinced I trust the supplements in a grocery store. But I digress. So let's bring it back to Sacred Earth or Life Extension or a good source. So where would one start? In your opinion, when the average Joe walks through the door, or Sally, whether he or she's 30, 50, or 80, where do they start?
I'm going to say, guys, you start where you need to start, okay? In other words, we are all biochemically incredibly unique. Your needs, my needs, Jody needs are going to be inherently different. So we must meet our bodies and the body's needs halfway. I think that's where we start. And that's going to look different for everyone, okay? So for example, Jody, how does that look different for you? Where did you begin?
I began, quite honestly, over 30 years ago, looking at sort of qualitative data only. A lot of it was what I thought, a lot of it was what I read, good or bad, right and wrong at the time, and some of that was based on how I felt. Fast forward to today, I'm absolutely recommending, and I know you are too, it's 1 part qualitative, 1 part quantitative.
Yes.
Qualitative, how do I feel? How am I sleeping, for example? Is it great? Is it crappy, or is it somewhere in between? Because based on that, I'm going to reach for certain supplements. Magnesium comes to mind, melatonin perhaps. But I love quantitative data. But before I talk about that a little bit, any thoughts on qualitative data and feeling and energy?
You know I do. Guys, qualitative, your feelings, your relationship to yourself. circumstantial, okay? Case in point, sleep. Who's sleeping well? I don't know who's sleeping very well. Good point of case, right? So meet those needs, go from there. Qualitative. Quantitative, I think numbers don't lie, right? So lab testing, right? Get your vitamin D levels checked. That part's critical, okay? Get your hormones checked at least once or twice a year, guys, because that information can tell you where to go. Okay, it's one thing to listen to your body, important. It's another thing to be able to verify through numbers what is happening. Both together, I think, are equally important. Don't put one before the other necessarily. And getting lab tests these days doesn't have to be expensive.
It's super easy, James. It's super easy. One could go to discountedlabs.com. It's, for example, vitamin D test. I think it's currently $62. It's a no-brainer.
It's reasonable, guys.
Lifeextension.com. I don't know the price, but I know that they've got their testing available as well. By the way, both you and I, of course, can help people read those results and interpret that and supplement accordingly. I love quantitative data. So, of course, there's blood work, lab work, but there's other stuff as well, and some of which is easier. For example, thinking of what supplement, back to the basic question, what supplements should one take, especially if you can only take 3? All right, well, what if I have, and I don't, but what if I had high blood pressure? Well, I'm thinking minerals, aren't you?
Yes.
Cal, mag, potassium come to mind?
Yep.
Easily known via blood pressure. Quantitative data in addition to blood work, fitness devices. Man, I wear this Oura ring. It also acts as my wedding ring. It's fantastic. It tells me, I don't know, 6, 7 different biomarkers just related to my sleep. Deep sleep, REM, they're not the same. Restfulness, what time I went to bed, etc. So if my sleep is bad and I've got quantitative data to show me that, then I may be reaching for, again, magnesium, I may be reaching for melatonin, or some herbal supplements, quantitative data. Make sense?
It does. These are tools, guys. Sometimes we consider tools for certain projects, right? Why not use tools for the health and well-being of our own vehicles? This vehicle right here, right? They're readily at hand. I love it. Great. Okay, so with that said, we are back to the grocery store.
Nope. Can we go out of the grocery store back to?
Yes. You know what? You've gotten your food from the grocery store. Now you're going for your supplements. You're going to a health food store. I would say hopefully a proper health food store, much like Sacred Earth, of course, right? You're walking into the health food store. Okay. You're looking around. You see tons of options here, tons of choices. What 3 are they going to be? Jody, what 3 are they going to be for you?
Man, it's almost a trick question, but it's a fantastic question. You may or may not like the answer. It's going to be the 3 that I need based on what we just talked about, qualitative and quantitative data. For me, that is going to be vitamin D. You and I obviously love vitamin D. By the way, I'm not going to take D pretty much ever without K2. In fact, I take the entire K complex and fish oil, because they all work together for calcium absorption,
yes,
for absorption of the D itself. They just synergize together. As you know, vitamin D is a fat-soluble vitamin, and so we need to absorb it. If you're taking fish oil anyway, I am, are you?
Big time.
Because we love fish oil.
Yes.
And by the way, why do we love fish oil?
Heart health, brain health, mood, joint health, and so on. Right? So an omega D3 and a K2 all at once is a beautiful synergy. It's a no-brainer. You're done. Perhaps first thing in the morning, might I recommend, would be a good time for you to take those.
Well said.
Set you up for your day. Kind of sort of like that. And so those as your trio, beautiful. My trio in this moment, okay, this could very well change tomorrow. Not unusual. A little bit different. I'm going to go with vitamins D, of course, vitamin C, and this one you guys might find interesting, fiber, a fiber supplement. Okay, naturally, right, we're supposed to be deriving most of our fiber from our foods. However, the average American is not. Myself, depends on the day, right? But adding that extra fiber in there, what does that do? That supports your gut microbiome, the foundation of your immune system, critical to protect you and keep you healthy, right? Vitamin C does the same but different thing. Unfortunately, and this is unfortunate, we are one of the very few mammals on this beautiful planet that does not produce vitamin C naturally. That's tough. Gotta supplement it. Great for energizing your cells. Great for fighting oxidation. Okay, and the vitamin D, you covered that beautifully. For all the right reasons, yes, D is critical.
Question for you. You sell a D3 and a K2 together, correct?
Yes.
So what if that were just one of my three? Mm-hmm. So you allow me to have some flexibility here.
We're going to allow some flexibility, guys.
And we've already said fish oil, because fish oil is not in your D3, K2 complex or K mixture. So that's my second, fish oil. I can't ignore iodine.
Oh.
I love my iodine, right? So
it's exciting.
The average person walking through the doors, especially thinking about your female clients here, 40 plus, how about that thyroid, right? And it's not just about thyroid. There's some adrenal function going on as well. But man, that basic element, that basic nutrient that people are just not getting, unless they're salting their meals with good old or bad old table salt with iodine added, or they're supplementing kelp, or they're eating seaweed, and guess what? Most are not. How are they not getting iodine? They're not. So I have to throw iodine in there.
I love it. If we want to talk about epidemics, you guys, hypothyroidism amongst the ladies is a true epidemic. And the sad part about it is it doesn't have to be. We literally just need to include more iodine-rich foods in our diet. For example, the average Japanese woman gets somewhere between 10 to 20 times more iodine daily than an American woman. What's up with that? Not ideal. So iodine for thyroid health, for endocrine health, completely beautiful. I love it.
I love it. And I love the plug you gave for women and the need to look at the thyroid and with the iodine coming in. Can I do a plug for men?
Yes.
The plug for men is testosterone.
Yes.
And if one can supplement their way into healthy testosterone levels, and I'm talking total, but I'm also, even more importantly, talking free, because free is what matters. Because if all that total testosterone is all bound up, it's not doing us a whole lot of good. So if one can clean up the diet and get sleep and get off screen time and do certain things and get those T levels up, that's fantastic. But when you talk about thyroid for women, I can't help but to think about testosterone for men, because it's huge. Not that men don't have thyroid issues as well. They do, but the majority of time, testosterone is a great place to start.
Well said. I'm going to go back to the word unfortunately. If we have another epidemic on deck, it will be low testosterone. We have a lot of men now in the United States, young men in their 20s, who are suffering from low testosterone. Again, they're in their 20s, you guys. So a lot of issues that kind of come together to create this situation. Hopefully it doesn't get worse. We're going to have to change some of our habits, specifically eating habits, and there's environmental issues as well, right, to kind of get us back on track. So that's well said. I'm on board with that, much like a surfer, okay? All right, guys, hope you enjoyed that video. Hope you learned something today. Okay, we appreciate you tuning in. Remember, stay tuned. We got a 202 and a 303 coming as well, all right? Now, for more of what I'm doing in my videos, don't forget, sacredearthcompany.com. Instagram is Sacred Earth Co. Post a lot of content, much like this. Come follow me. And for Jody,
ThumosUSA.com, home of being better men and optimizing life. We have men's weekends. We have an inner circle, and we'd love to entertain having more people. And of course, consulting like you. I do consulting as well with these men. And we're also on social media, of course. Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. ThumosUSA.com.
Y'all, check us out for more content. Thanks again. See you soon.